Hiya, boss. How are things at the embassy?
Are you mad? How can you be sure you were not followed?
Relax, will you? Nobody in their right mind would hang around this neighborhood.
Do you have the formula?
You got the money?
They've made the swap.
You have done very well, my friend.
Okay, let's bust them. Government agents, you're under arrest.
I've taken a lot from you, but not this. No agent goes double on me and lives to enjoy it.
It's no use. We are trapped.
Wait a minute. Looks that way, doesn't it? Don't you have a plane waiting to fly you out of the country?
Yes, but what good does it do me now?
If I get you out of this, you take me with you, okay?
You mean you want to defect?
You're as good as dead right now. Why don't you give yourself up?
Let's say I don't have much of a chance of living in this country. What do you say?
Anything. Just get me out of this.
Okay. Wait here. I'll pick you up.
Look, Al, I'm not asking you to spy. Just asking you to steal.
Just how long has it been since you've seen Comrade Monday?
Since meeting in Paris over a year ago. I was chairman of the Cultural Arts Committee, People's Democratic International Convention, and...
Do you think the United States would attempt to negotiate with her?
I do not know. I said... No, yes.
Comrade Monday, can you tell us why?
I don't know, Comrade.
Yes, I was worried about Mary.
Oh, yes, very, very. Darling.
Very much things in Comrade.
Hello, my darling.
Comrade. Very much things
Oh, I've missed you so much. It's so good to see you again.
Madame Commissar.
Boris.
Our defector seems to be making quite an impression with the press and the sweetheart.
I always fail to understand why the Ministry of Public Information always goes into such ecstasies over defectors. You will excuse me?
Yes, I am.
If you can spare the time.
Commissar, this is Alexander Monday. Commissar Malenska, head of internal security.
How do you do?
Attention, everybody. The hearts of our peace-loving people open to you, Comrade Monday, and offer to you sanctuary from the murderous warmongers of your capitalist enslaved homeland.
Well, thank you.
I am not finished. As Commissar of Internal Security, I offer to you the protection of our people's socialist democratic republic. Copies of this official greeting statement have been mailed to the full East European News Network, along with an eloquent renunciation by Comrade Monday of his imperialist native land. Both statements to be quoted in their entirety in all accounts of his defection. There will be no questions at this time. However, Comrade Monday will be made available for interviews as soon as he has recovered from the ordeal of his escape.
Well, thank you, Commissar.
Dismissed, comrades.
Commissar, we've waited so very long to be together. May we go now, please?
I suppose it's in the best interest of public decency to get the two of you behind closed doors as soon as possible. Yes, yes, you may go.
Thank you. Excuse me. Darling, we can go now. Excuse us.
We'd like to just we have some cash.
I can't wait to see what the capitalist press will say about all this.
Keep an eye on him.
Why?
I do not trust him.
They were shooting at us. They tried to kill him.
Perhaps.
It was real, I swear to you.
Even so, I do not trust a traitor. What he did once, he can do again. Watch him.
Yes, Commissar.
One more for the photographers.
Do that again, and I'll bite your lip off.
I love you, too. Is that any way to treat a red-blooded American defector? I thought there'd be a limousine.
Just shut up and get on.
Women drivers make me nervous. You be the navigator.
Take a ride.
didn't know you were a college student.
I'm not a student. I'm an instructor, but I have an apartment in this building.
Nothing.
I told you not to do that unless we have to.
Ours is not the reason why, Love Cup.
We're being followed.
You see over there that fellow sitting down at the table?
My buddy.
But why? They must suspect us.
That commissar would suspect her own mother. Come on, let's make it look good.
What are you doing?
It's an old American custom.
Will you put me down?
Wow. A pigeon could blow his mind in here.
This is the kind of monstrosity we are expected to produce for the people's good. They have turned the university art department into a factory. But someday we will be free to create real beauty. Come this way.
That day is coming. This is a nice apartment.
You don't have to make small talk when we're alone.
Ilsa, I wonder, Ilsa, if we couldn't be having, like, a communication problem. Our most cherished secret. But if it were ever discovered by Commissar Malenska and her secret police, we would all be either executed or imprisoned for life as dangerous deviationists. Well, it really grabs you. There's no doubt about that.
Comrades, this is Alexander Monde.
Hello?
We have a way to do.
Thank you. This is the underground.
Yes.
I trust there's more than one way to come in and go out of this room.
One of the upstairs lavatories has a secret door. We keep a lookout posted there at all times.
in case there is trouble.
Where is Professor Gorkov? He's my contact. I was supposed to meet him here.
He's dead. He was killed last night.
You're late.
You see, you were expected here last week. And when you didn't show up...
Well, it took longer to set it up than we thought. Cigarette?
When you didn't arrive, Professor Gorkov thought something must have gone wrong. And so he decided to try it himself.
Well, I'll have to do it without him. What is it I'm supposed to steal?
We don't know.
You don't know? You gotta be kidding.
We're not kidding.
He wouldn't tell any of us what it was, in case one of us got caught. What he did tell us was that once it was revealed, it would cause a great upheaval in most of the Iron Curtain governments.
What is it? A secret document?
That, Mr. Ramondi, is what we don't know.
You mean I went through this whole bit of getting set up as a traitor, traveling 10,000 miles to steal something, and you don't know what it is?
I know where it is.
Well, now that's a step in the right direction.
The slide projector, please, George. This was originally the Royal Palace, now converted into a state museum. Professor Gorkov was killed trying to break in there. Didn't seem to be guarded, so he thought it would be easy. I drove him here, and I watched while he went around to the back. But then suddenly they were shooting. He came staggering around the corner. He died in my arms.
So whatever it is you want me to steal, all you know is that it's somewhere in that palace.
Not just somewhere. I know the room it's in. I got to him just before he died. His last words were, the cradle in the keep.
Keep?
Don't you see? A keep is a dungeon. It's got to be somewhere in the dungeon.
Oh, well, that clears it up just fine. Then all I have to do is steal a dungeon. Or, as you say, keep.
Look, I know how you feel.
Oh, no, you don't, lady. You don't know at all.
Well, just remember, none of this was my idea, including the part about our having fallen in love in Paris.
Don't forget, you were the one that was supposed to make me turn traitor. You must have really turned me on those warm summer nights on the left bank.
You seem to find that hard to believe.
We haven't exactly hit it off like Romeo and Juliet.
I thought it was understood that we were doing a job.
It's always a lot nicer if you like your work.
This is it. This is where they kept the political prisoners before the revolution. Listen.
You are viewing the room where Alexei Borborik, heroic first premier of the People's Socialist Democratic Republic, spent 2 long years as a political prisoner of the monarch. When, after the revolution, Alexei Borborik became premier, this room was kept intact as a shrine to our country's hero, with mementos of his early youth. Notice the textbooks and lecture notes from his days at the university, from which this brilliant peasant boy graduated cum laude.
Professor Gorkov said he was kicked out for cheating on his English examinations.
And finally, in the corner, you can see the handmade cradle which his simple peasant father carved for him, in which his loving peasant mother rocked him, as well as 11 brothers and sisters.
All 12 of them in there together? No, you should smile more often. It's very becoming.
Well, it was a pretty silly thing for you to say.
Cradle and the keep. We're in the keep, and there's the cradle. Now, all I have to do is get in there, take that thing apart, and find whatever it is we're after. Here, take my picture.
How can we get in there? There's too many people coming and going during the day. And I told you what happened to Professor Gorokov when he tried to sneak in last night.
He was a professor. That's why they sent for me. I'm a thief.
A thief? You mean that's your profession?
Third generation.
You sound almost proud of it.
What do you mean, almost? It's a fine profession. It takes courage and skill. And besides, you can't beat the hours.
All the people to send.
Hold it. Back to work.
Comrades. Comrades, there are more appropriate places for that sort of thing.
I've been talking to her about that.
It's hardly in keeping with the dignity of the Borboric set. After all...
Well, I'm sorry. We got carried away. Yeah.
We won't let it happen again.
Let's go.
Oh, comrades, have you seen our display in the jewel room?
Jewels?
Yeah, I wouldn't want to miss it. It's our most popular attraction. Next to the Borboric cell, of course.
I wouldn't want to miss that.
Ah, it's this way.
Why is that old fool being so nice to us?
Well, you know what they say. The whole world loves a lover. Maybe he believes.
Yes, but we could be overdoing it just a little bit. Come on. George is waiting. Let's go.
It'll only take a moment. It's the egg.
The egg?
What's it doing here? It should be in Moscow.
It doesn't matter what it's doing here. It's what you're supposed to be doing here that matters. Come on. George is waiting.
Wait a minute. That's 430 carats of diamond worth $4,500,000.
This diamond?
That's not just a diamond. It's the Pharaoh's eye, Nero's tears, the Hun's morning star, for the last 300 years, the great orb of the Balkans. Just mention the egg to a diamond connoisseur, and he'd do anything in the world to get his hands on it. Now, if one was to have that in his possession, he could be voted the most valuable player of the year in both leagues. I know an ice cutter in Amsterdam.
How do you like our museum, Mr. Mundy?
I find it fascinating.
I was making a routine inspection of security arrangements when this appeared on our monitor. I thought you might find it amusing.
Well, it's a bit grainy, but it's a good likeness. Do you have pictures of me in all the rooms?
No. Only in the jewel room do we bother with cameras in case any of our daytime visitors literally try to share the wealth.
We have some of those in my former country, too. Supermarkets, places like that.
I doubt if your supermarkets are quite as effectively guarded as this museum.
Well, I wouldn't know what you have. I've only seen the photograph.
Would you care to see the rest of it? Some of the attractions not seen by the general public.
I'd be most interested.
You will excuse us. Come, Mr. Mundy. I think you are going to be most interested in the advance system. We are entering from the rear. And now, I am going to show you the intricacies of our protection system. Look there. In each guard tower, at all four corners of the building, automatic weapons are trained so to destroy any intruder on the walls, or on the ground at the base of the walls. But I don't want to bore you with too many details. Come, let me show you the entry system. Now you will see that the door seal is the most ingenious device which logs in and out everyone who visits the museum, guards, staff, and visitors. Each and every person who enters in the morning must leave in the same night, or alarms are triggered and unpleasant things take place.
Does it tell your weight and fortune?
Both of those are variables. We are a little more precise than that. And now, Mr. Mundy, since you are so interested, do let me show to you the soul of the Castle Cradle. This is the brain center of the museum security system, completely automated. It can last well over a year without human attention.
Well, it's very nice, but wouldn't it be easy to short circuit?
Should anyone be foolish enough to leave the observation area and approach the computer without carrying the necessary magnetic identification badges, he would be electrocuted on the metal floor.
Must have cost a great deal of money.
There is nothing like it in the whole world.
But you haven't got anything in your museum that's worth what this burglar alarm system cost.
Actually, the museum security system was not designed to protect this. This was originally intended to be the abode of our late lamented Premier Borborig. He believed that where men could be bribed, machinery could not.
He must have had assassins waiting in line to have a layout like this.
In his mind, perhaps. Actually, no one cared that much whether he lived or died. He was a harmless enough old fool. Even well-liked, I'm told, by some of the leaders of our more powerful allies. They lavished some rather extraordinary gifts on him toward the end, including the diamond, which fascinated you so thoroughly. They even footed the bill for all of this.
Maybe he wasn't such an old fool after all.
You know his one talent? He could hold his liquor. He could drink any 10 men under the table, and that was his great gift. When our liberators from beyond the steppes came clanking through on their way to Berlin, Borborig crawled out from his hole in the cellar to greet his red brethren. He sat up with the generals 2 nights and 2 days, matching them vodka for vodka. In the end, they left with headaches. He became our premier. Well, so much for ancient history. What intrigues us now is current events. Tell me, Mr. Mundy, do you have any regrets? Are you sorry that you defected?
How could I, with such a charming commissar as you to take care of me? Thank you very much for the guided tour. That's it.
No, it is forbidden.
Sorry.
You can't take off your shoes, sir.
All right, you don't have to get up so tight about it.
But it is forbidden to walk without your shoes, sir.
Let me get your picture. Thank you.
Ilse said you spent quite a bit of time with Commissar Malenska.
I got the VIP treatment. She thinks I have it in mind to swipe the big egg.
Well, don't you?
Well, I must admit the idea is a tempting one, but it wouldn't be ethical.
Ethics? You speak of ethics in your business? What value is a thief's word? If the jewel were to be stolen, then we would all be considered thieves. and no one would listen to us. I must have your promise that you are with us completely.
A contract is a contract. I made a deal to heist whatever it is that's hidden in that cradle. My only problem is to find out how to stay in that museum after closing time.
All right. Can't you just hide somewhere?
Well, you see, they check every pair of shoes that goes in and out electronically. If you're checked in the daytime and don't walk out at closing time, boom, you're a dead comrade.
Are you trying to tell us it can't be done?
No, I'm not trying to tell you it can't be done. Look, can you find about a dozen people that can help us, that we can trust?
I'll get them.
He seems to be interested in our museum.
Especially in our most prized treasure. I saw the expression on his face when he was looking at it. Also, he was trying to extract information regarding security measures.
Did you show him everything?
Almost everything. Keep track of him.
Closing time. Closing time. Everybody out of the museum.
We'll see you tomorrow morning.
All right, hit the road. We'll take it from here. Don't wait up.
Good luck.
Closing, closing. Everybody come out of the museum, please.
Commissar! They just went into the university.
The university?
Any further instructions?
No. You may go home.
Not bad for a third-generation thief.
Boris, you fool. They are in the museum. Meet me there at once.
Yes, Commissar.
Bet those inches haven't been oiled since the night the king did and his wife.
Don't say that. If a place ever deserved to be haunted, this one does.
I wish I knew what I was looking for. I gotta move this. Pick it up. We'll have to put it back exactly the way it was at closing time. Are you sure your uncle saw something down here? If it was glued in here, how could he have seen it?
I don't know. I guess he couldn't have.
Well, it's a good thing I've got all night long to pry it open.
I never thought of that.
What?
Well, that we have to spend the whole night here together.
How lucky can you get?
Now, I want it understood.
Relax. You can have a whole floor to yourself.
What can I do to help you?
Hold that for me. Elsa, I want you to think now and tell me your uncle's last words exactly.
Well, he made me lean very close, as he could hardly speak. He said, the keep, the crib in the keep.
Crib.
Yes.
Not cradle. Crib.
Well, they mean the same thing, don't they?
And you are a university instructor? A crib is not a cradle, not to a professor. Now, you told me that Premier Borborig was expelled from school for cheating.
Right. He was kicked out for cheating on an English examination because he had a crib. Of course. Secret notes.
Remember, put everything back the way it was.
But even if he's in there, we can't get in till morning.
Wrong again, comrade. We can, and we will.
But I thought that the security system can't be shut down except by its time lock.
Yes, that's what you are supposed to think. And Mr. Mundy, too. I can get in any time I like. Commissar Malenska to Central. Put me through on simultaneous patch lines to emergency transmitter, also to police transmitter. You will tell me the moment you are ready to broadcast.
Names, places, dates, and incidents. Ironic, isn't it? On his English grammar primer. Look at this.
March 26, 61. Petrov boasted of assassination of Chief of Staff. Son made General. April 61.
How about this one? General Gorski bribed Prime Minister to get his last promotion money deposited in Swiss bank. Deposit number C4112. I wouldn't be surprised if this got the egg for Borberg.
Signal 1, 8, 14.
Do you suppose these things are true?
You're darn right. Why do you think he was so afraid of being assassinated?
But how did Borborig know all these things about these people?
Because he had a bigger talent than anybody thought. Just stay sober while everybody else gets sloppy drunk. Then listen good and keep detailed notes. No wonder they treated him well in his declining years. He was blackmailing everybody who belted a little vodka with him, not to mention some rice wine. One way or another, he got the dope on all the Iron Curtain big shots. No wonder your professor wanted to get to it. Whoever has this can blow the whistle on half the governments. Look at this. Something on every page. This is going to take a little time. Here, start at page 1.
Signal end.
Boy, this is going to make tame pussycats out of the tigers. Just what she wants us to try. 10 seconds after we hit that door sill, we'll be dead.
If he doesn't come out in another minute, I shall go in.
Alone?
Alone.
You promised.
This is the only way I can get her to come in here. Now let go.
Mr. Mundy, how very sweet of you to do the expected. Where's Mr. Mundy?
Take your shoes off.
Why?
Take them off. That door sill is monitored by a computer that controls the guns outside. It takes a magnetic reading of every pair of shoes that comes in and goes out, and you're going out in those. Come on.
What about you?
You're going to carry me. Come on.
Diamond. You promised.
Commissar, are you all right?
There goes my most valuable player award.
Comrade Commissar, are you there?
Get that light out of my eyes.
Don't touch that gun.
Don't you realize he's here, somewhere in the gallery with the girl?
All I see is you, Comrade Commissar. And that...
You fool! How can you possibly think that I...
There is no one else here but you.
He was behind the door with... Catch him! Stop! Stop! You haven't got a chance!
Worked out all right.
Yes, it went very well.
Did you know that they have the egg over there?
The egg?
The egg. $4,500,000 worth of diamond.
Give it back, Al.
I didn't take it. But for one bright, shining moment, I held it right in the palm of this hand.
You weren't there to steal a diamond. Now give it back.
That's what everybody kept telling me. I didn't take it.
You were there to do one thing and one thing only. Now,
wait a minute. No, I didn't take it.
Turn around us.
Noah, believe me, I didn't take it.
Never mind, I'm sorry.
You can't trust people. You got me.
What is this?
That's what you sent me over to get.
Oh, you got it on film?
Yes, I got it on film.
Well, he's telling you the truth. I was right there with him.
Now, this is Ilsa. She was my contact. I told her you'd take care of refugee freedom fighters.
It would be my pleasure, miss.
And not this one. Them.
Mr. Bain. Mr. Noah Bain.
Yes.
Comrade Bundy has told us all about you, but...
Al! Beautiful airport where we are so